How's it going, guys? We are live here on Monday, New Year's Eve, the last day of 2018. How have you guys been doing on your Amazon business? I hope you have been crushing it. Today, on today's episode, we're going to go over a way that you can get buyer insight. If you've been watching us on our Facebook Lives, you know all about this. But if you're brand new to Helium 10 or you're just happening upon this video, there's going to be some really amazing nuggets for you. I think that you're going to find valuable, whether you use Helium 10 or not, and how to get insight into your buyers. I just got to see if my links are working here correctly. Make sure we have some viewers here. We got 3 viewers, so somehow it's working. Let me just get here so I can start seeing the other questions that you guys have here. Uh-oh, there's my voice. I gotta pause me. I am completely live. So one question I always see on these things are you live or is this recording? So if it's anytime between 4 and 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve Pacific time, you are watching something live. But if you're watching this afterwards, no problem. You're watching it on the replay, which is absolutely fine. You're going to still have some valuable information here. So let me try and get to the, you guys see the chat window there? Oh, there we go. Do is back. How's it going? Ola's there. How's it going, Ola? Dennis, Annie, how's it? Whoa, Ryan Rigney, how's it going? We got some heavy hitters in here. So I'm going to quickly go over the review downloader. Ryan, I hope you stay on. I'm not sure if I've demoed this to you, but I want to show you guys how to get insight from your customers using Review Downloader. There's about 4 different ways you can do it, and all of them are very valuable. Ryan says, putting in that work. Yes, you know how we do over here. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. Share. How can I share it? Here we go. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. Here's the Amazon search. Now I'm going to do the same search I always do. I've done this a million times. Unless somebody wants me to search for something else, I'm going to search for collagen peptides. But if you guys want me to search for something else, there's a little bit of a delay here. So again, Ryan can tell you this. I'm sure he tells his clients this, and Do uses this as well. But one of the, there's a few different ways why you would want to use a Review Downloader. So the main way that people use it is because they say, hey, I'm going to come out with a product. I want to know what people are complaining about this product, right? So they're going to click into here, and I got to wait for this to load. My internet here at my home office is not as fast as it is at the Helium 10 main office. So it takes a while for these things to load up. There we go. All right. So I'm going to hit Review Downloader. And I just want to say, hey, show me all, in the last year, what are the things that people are complaining about? What are their, 1 and 2 star reviews? And this product actually is pretty good. Usually you would do this more for products that don't have, such a high star rating, but still people are complaining about it. So you might want to know. And here, look, within a few seconds, it found 58 reviews that are 1 or 2 stars here. Look at this, nasty taking, product appeared tampered with. This stuff tastes bad, strong flavor right off the bat. Look at this, great looking bottle, horrible taste, not too great tasting. Right off the bat, within 10 seconds, I got some insight that people in the last year for this product, they don't really like the taste. So, what would I do? Maybe I'd buy that product and see, is there a real difference on the taste? And I would dig into this a little bit more and then see, hey, on my product, how can I fix that? This is something for taste, but it could be something like a phone case. A phone case, you might be looking, hey, the credit card slots would tear easily. All right. Well, what does that tell you? If you're going to make your own product, you're going to go to your manufacturer and say, hey, you better reinforce the stitching on these credit card slots so we don't, break them. And at the same time, you'd then be able to use whatever thing that you are fixing in your copy for your listing. So like, for example, this about the tasting, you would say, hey, are you tired of collagen peptides that don't taste that great or give you a bitter taste in your mouth? Hey, our collagen peptides taste like candy. I mean, whatever the case, right? Or the phone case. Hey, are you tired of your phone case having to replace it every few months because the credit card slots tear? Well, we have reinforced stitching that, will make it last a lot longer than our competitors. Something like that, right? So, I mean, literally, I'm just coming up with this stuff at the top of my head after 1 minute of product research, okay, or review research, all right? What's the other thing that you might want to know about when you're looking at reviews? And again, this doesn't matter if you're using Review Downloader or if you're just studying people's reviews. What if I wanted to just see like all of the top reviews? Let me see if this works. I've actually never done this before where I did a 5-star search. Well, it worked. Okay. Well, literally, I've never done this before. I always talk about it, but I never actually do it. Here, I'm looking at what is everybody who are giving it 5 stars. What are they really, helping about or talking about? So I would, take a look here. Dissolves well, that's interesting. Enjoying the product. Blends well, no aftertaste. Works great for my hair, skin, and nails. So right off the bat, then what I would be like, wow, everybody loves how this dissolves well. It's a powder, so that's kind of important, you would think. Or no aftertaste. So again, right there, I got to make sure when I'm manufacturing my product, hey, factory, manufacturer, make sure that when you stir this up, it dissolves well, because that's important to people who are, in this niche, right? All right, so those two things, there's nothing, if you're an experienced Amazon seller, there's nothing earth-shattering there that really, changes up the game. But the one thing I want to focus on, and this is what I always do on my videos about Review Downloader, and I think this is one of the, probably the second and most important thing for me of why I love the Helium 10 tools, is the bullet points, guys. This guy is selling a lot of units. I can't talk that bad about him. I always pick on this product. One of these days, this guy's going to call me up and say, why are you always putting my product on blast, right? But take a look here. By the way, Thomas, CW Retail, welcome to the broadcast. Good to see you guys again. Go ahead and start putting your questions. I'll go back and take a look. But take a look at this bullet point, guys. Zanmex collagen is enzymatically processed to ensure intact peptides property. Anybody in the world know what in the world that means? I have no idea what the heck is enzymatically processed. That does not make me want to buy this product. It's like, come on, give me a break. What does this even mean? Sourced from pasture raised, grass-fed, non-GMO, type Roman numeral 1, type Roman numeral 3, 100% natural hydrolyzed collagen. Come on, guys. This is like the most boring bullet point I've ever seen. I mean, it's not really, but I'm just exaggerating here. But guys, this is not how you catch your customer, all right? This is good information. There's probably some really hot keywords in here that might come up in keyword research, but the point is that there is no, if I have let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Make sure people see I want people to see the passion in my face right here when I'm talking about this, because this is super important, all right? To me, there's two kinds of Amazon searches, amongst others, but two main kinds. One is, hey, I am looking for Zanmex. I'm a returning customer. I've seen commercials about it. I just saw an infomercial about it. I want to buy it on Amazon so I can get 2 days shipping. So I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to type in Zanmex collagen peptides. All right. That kind of customer, they're laser focused on this product. They could care less what the reviews are. They could care less what the title is. They could care less what the bullet point is. They already know they're going to buy this product. They're just looking for it on Amazon. Boom. All right. That's great. If you have that kind of brand awareness, that's awesome. That's what your goal should be, to get to that point where people just know you as like a household name and they just want to find your product on Amazon to buy it and get it in 2 days, right? But for 99% of you, you're building your private label brands up. You're looking for a different kind of search. The only way that you're going to get you're never going to get a purchase on your private label brand for somebody who's searching for Zanmex collagen peptides. They're already laser focused. The way that you're going to get a purchase on Amazon from an Amazon search is if somebody's just doing a generic search like collagen peptides powder, right? And then your product comes up and they just weigh it among the others and they say, I'm going to get this. But what's going to get them to get your product? You've got to make an emotional connection. You've got to explain to them why they should get your product when they've never even heard of you before. All right. Think about shoes. How many of you would buy some no-name brand shoes on Amazon as opposed to like a brand name? Not many of us. But if you saw something that really caught your eye, amazing images, amazing copy, that it made that emotional connection, you're like, whoa, okay, I might do it. Like, whoa, this shoe actually can help with Achilles tendonitis or something. I've never seen a shoe that can do that. I might give this a try. All right. So same thing with like this collagen peptides. You gotta, in the bullet points, you gotta make some emotional connection. Of course, you've got to have a good images and you've got to have a good price. Those are important. But then, if all things are equal, I mean, there's a million collagen peptides out there. The only way that you're going to get somebody to buy your listing is if you, play to their wants, their needs, their fears, their desires, whatever, and then make that emotional connection and say, wow, okay. This company knows what I want, what I need. I'm going to give them a try. All right. So one of the most important ways to do that is through reading the reviews. And again, this has nothing to do with Helium 10. This is just in general. All right. If you're a physical product manufacturer and you have products in a grocery store or a Walmart, collagen peptides, for example, You can't go and look at all your competitors' listings. See how I think about Amazon all the time? Your competitors' products right there on the shelf and just instantly know, or with just a little bit of research, say, oh, okay, I know what was most important to the customers who bought this competitor's product, or I know what is on the mind of people who are searching for this product. You have no idea. You're not psychic, right? But on Amazon, you can do that because you have all of the reviews of the competitors' customers right here. All right. So now, with that in mind, how do you use the reviews without taking 10 hours? Now, this is something I literally would do before. I would have a team of VAs and I would say, hey, guys, I'm working on this product for one of my clients. I was an Amazon consultant before. And I need you to look at these 3 competitors, look at all, 3,000, 4,000 of the reviews, and I want you to find me, common things that are coming up, whether it's positive or negative. What are the things that are on the minds of the customers of these competitors' products? And it would take them like a week to go through, thousands of reviews, reading it, tabulating it, somehow trying to see what's most common. It would take a long time, but it's still important. And for those of you not using Helium 10, I still suggest doing that method, all right? But let me just show you how Helium 10 makes it a lot easier. Let's just show it here. Let's show my screen again. All right, hope you guys can see my screen. Now what I'm going to do, instead of looking at all of the, just the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 stars, I want to look at all stars, all right? All stars right here. Anything from December to now, all right? And I'm going to extract this. Now, this probably should come up to like 700 or 800 reviews. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, sorry about that delay here. All right, 700 reviews. Now, here is how you would be able to know what is commonly on the mind. I'm going to hit analysis. What that does is all of the 2, 3, 4 word phrases that are most commonly and frequently occurring in these reviews are coming up right here. And look at the number 1 thing, in my coffee. That might boggle your mind. Let me go back to that. But you'll find stuff here that's standard. Collagen peptides. Okay, well, duh. Collagen peptides, of course, is going to come up in these reviews over and over again, because this is a collagen peptides product. But look at some of these things that are interesting. Dissolves easily. That's like the number 7 thing mentioned here. Mixes well. So like right off the bat, I'm like, okay, these are things that are important to customers. And in my coffee, all right, you might be like, okay, I understand mixes well, dissolves. What the heck is in my coffee? Well, you don't have to guess. Watch. I just click on this. And now in my coffee is showing up in all of these reviews. And it's highlighted right for me right here. It's highlighted right here. I put a scoop in my coffee. When I take them in my coffee every day in the morning, I put a scoop in my coffee every morning and it dissolves instantly. I'm going to try it in my coffee next week. So you might be mind blown. If you're not mind blown, if you've seen me do this test like 17,000 times, but if you had never known what collagen peptides are, you might be like, are you serious right now? In my coffee is the most common phrase in all of these reviews. And it's because everybody's putting these collagen peptides in their coffee. Well, that just blows my mind, And now here's the important thing, guys. If you didn't do this, this would never have come up in keyword research. It doesn't matter. It's not because, Helium 10 sucks as a keyword research tool. As you guys know, I think Helium 10 is the hands down best keyword research tool. But the reason why this is not going to come up in my coffee in a keyword research tool, no matter what tool you use probably, is because it's not something that people search for. In my coffee, I'm not going to put a phrase in my coffee. What does that even mean? No, they search for collagen peptides. But what they're thinking about is they want to have a collagen peptide so that they can put in their coffee, but they just don't search about it. They're thinking about it though. So guys, how do we use this information? So instead of this kind of bullet point right here, I would put, hey, are you looking for collagen peptides that's going to dissolve easily in your everyday morning coffee and not leave aftertaste? Boom, right there, guys. All of a sudden now, let me go ahead and stop screen sharing. All right, all of a sudden now, you're making that emotional connection. So somebody is going to type in what you found in your keyword research, right? Collagen peptides powder. So they type in collagen peptides powder, and now all of a sudden your product comes up. They click on it. Oh, I'm not convinced. Let me just start reading what this is about. And that first bullet point, they're like, are you wanting to put this in your coffee? They're like, whoa, that's exactly what I had in mind. That's exactly how I wanted to use this. Well, this company knows what's up. I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. You guys see how important it is as opposed to having that other bullet point of enzymatically processed with natural hydrolyzed peptides. I mean, that's nonsense. There's nothing there that speaks to me or my heart to want to buy this product. But I would be like, wow, this company knows that I would use this as in coffee. So like, I'm totally going to give it a try. So guys, I cannot stress enough how important it is to do this when you are making your listings and also maintaining your listings. You would do this too on your own listing. Like after 6 months or so, you've got a few hundred reviews. Run keyword downloader, review downloader on your own listing. What are people talking about most on your listing? Maybe everybody is talking about something that you had no idea. Like if it was a collagen peptides, maybe somebody says, hey, everybody's running a sumo stable and we use collagen peptides instead of salt to throw on the sumo ring. I don't know, whatever. You might have something that you never thought about, right? Now you can go in and tie that and remake your listing, not remake the whole listing, but add something in the bullet point that addresses this. And then all of a sudden you're reaching a wide customer base. So this is super important, guys. Let me know what you think about that here in the comments, if that's going to be valuable to you, if this is new information to you. And I want you guys to start implementing that right away, even if you already have listings out there. Ryan, let me know what you think about that if I didn't put you to sleep here. But let me go ahead and see who is on the broadcast today. We've got Kishore. How's it going? Annie, what's up? Do CFW Retail, how's it going? And CFW Retail wanted me to take a look at a product. CFW Retail, you sure you want me to look up this product? Yesterday, we looked up a product and everybody all of a sudden wanted to buy it. And the guy who told me about it was like upset because he's like, now everybody's stealing my product idea. So let me know if you want me to put that product up there. Thomas says he's been waiting for me the whole day. I'm sorry. I actually woke up like at 1 in the afternoon. I was working late until like 4 in the morning doing some research on different projects I'm working on, Amazon related, Helium 10 related. And before I knew it, it was 4 a.m. And then I slept until like 1 in the afternoon today. So yeah, I just got up here. So let's see. Thomas says, what is the best way to get product reviews? All right. So the best way is just to have a great product. All right. If you don't have a great product, you're not going to get great product reviews. But, if you have a great product, you're making sales, how do you get reviews? One way you can do it is through Amazon, using their early reviewer program. It costs like $60, I believe. You might get 5-6 reviews after 2 or 3 months. But if you really want to ramp it up, you've got to do other things. You've got to maybe see how you can remarket on Facebook to your customers, so that you could the people who are buying your product, tell them to give you a review. You can do email campaign instead of Facebook, but you can only send one message now, legally, or not legally, but according to Amazon's TOS, one message asking for a review. But just give great customer service, have a great product, and do at least, not at least, at most one follow-up message, however you're doing it, to retarget your existing customers, and ask them to make a review. And even doing that, guess what? You'll be happy if you can get 1 out of 60 to 100 purchases to review. It's just really hard to get reviews. And think about it. Those of us who are Amazon buyers ourselves, I buy things on Amazon all the time. How often do you leave a review? It's not very often. All right. So it is hard to do it. But another way is really concentrate more on your brand. Build a social media following. Build a community on Facebook centered around your brand, email lists, things like that. Once you build more of a community and get that brand awareness, then you can, tell people, guys, hey, if you like our products, leave a review. It doesn't have to be a verified review. The only way you can get verified reviews is people purchase on Amazon. But if you're doing a lot of off Amazon sales, through your Shopify site or something, just let people know, hey, guys, go to our Amazon listing and leave a review if you have this product, if you purchase this product anywhere. It's not valued as much as a verified review, but it's also a way to get reviews. So I hope that helps, Thomas. Elitekin, who was on here trying to steal Thomas's product yesterday, the Calimbas. Still nobody ever told me why I was pronouncing it wrong. I'm telling you, the Spanish way is the only way I know how to pronounce that. Kalimba. All right. Elitekin is trying to get a discount on another tool. I can't help you with that. And that wouldn't be help, because if you're using a different tool, it's actually a disadvantage compared to if you're using Helium 10. I wouldn't want to do that to you. I'll give you a discount on Helium 10. All right. CFW Retail says, hey, can you just go ahead and put up fireproof document bags? All right, I'm just going to take a look at this for him. All right. Or her. Let's go look up fireproof document bags. He doesn't care if a leakkin steals his product this time. All right, let's take a look here. Fireproof document bags. All right. Here we are. So fireproof document bags. The first thing I look at is just visually, is everything here like kind of similar? And I see this is real similar. This is real similar. Some are cases. What in the world? Look at this. This is like the exact same logo, but this is a different brand. How is that even possible? Somebody's biting off of somebody here. Let's take a look here. Let's look up X-ray. And wow, this actually has some decent search volume, probably between 5,000 and 7,000. The last time we checked was 6,000. All right, let's take a look at some of these products here. All right, a lot of private label here. You know, the number of sellers, there's not that many, so that means there's not a lot of wholesale products. The price is kind of all over the place, but I think that's probably because there are some bags here and then some that are just the, yeah, like that is probably expensive. I bet you this $14 one is not a full bag. Yeah, it's that little tiny bag. Okay, so that makes sense. There's two different kinds of main sellers here. So that's why there's deviation here. Number of sales, I like this. I like it a lot. Only one guy is absolutely killing it. One guy out of this whole page, cold case, he's just crushing it, selling 3,000 units a month. Everybody else is selling less than 1,000. It's not too difficult to ramp up to that kind of sales volume. What about ratings? Everybody at 4.5 or 5 stars. This is not a bad thing, but this just tells me that, hey, if I come in, I had better have 4.5 or 5 stars, or it'd be really hard. What I really like to see here is like a whole bunch of like 3 stars, because then I know if I come in with a 4 or 5, I really stick out. So just to even be able to hang with these guys, I know I got to have a really good product. Review count. Holy cow, look at this. The main guy has only 270 reviews, but look at all these. 1 review, 68 reviews, 44 reviews, 76 reviews. This is another great thing, guys. This is good. This is really good. I like this. You know, you come in here with 5, 10 reviews, you don't look too out of place here. Really nice, really nice. I like that. What about images? Everybody is crushing it on images. You know, they all have like at least 7, 8, or 9 images. So again, not much opportunity there to like set yourself apart. But yeah, this is a decent niche. You know, I would of course have to look into this more. What was your name? Let's see. This was CFW Retail. You know, I would have to look into this more, but it does have things that I like to see when I'm doing my niche research, which is, you know, lower review counts. Not many people just completely dominating with a bunch of ridiculous sales, you know. So yeah, that's a good market. That's a good market. I would look into that. All right, let's go ahead and continue with the live questions so I can catch up, and then I'll go to the archived questions here as well. Let me switch this. There we go. All right. All right, here we go. How much, Dew says, how much exact search volume do you consider to be good? Well, just keep in mind, Dew, that, you know, exact search phrase volume is no longer available. It's no longer fresh data, is no longer available. So you shouldn't, I mean, even before when it was available, you shouldn't be looking at that as the main thing for your product research. I mean, I never did, even with it. I loved exact phrase search volume, but it was by no means a number that said, hey, if it has 5,000, then it's worth it. But if it has 4,000, it's not. I never use it as that, because there are different niches. Like the collagen peptide, some of the, you know, top words there had over 150,000 searches. But at the same time, there are really big players in that field, and, you know, you would have to have really high sales velocity for that. Whereas maybe something else, the top, like fireproof bags, that might be the top word, right? That might be the top word. 6,000 keyword searches. All right, so 6,000 keyword searches. Does that mean it's a bad niche because it only has 6,000 compared to collagen peptides? No. If the competition is not doing that great, and you know, that could totally be a great product, you know, to go into. So I never, even when it was around, I never use that as a certain number that says, hey, this is good, this is bad. You know, What you want to find is the most relevant keywords to your listing and that are, commonly searched things. All right. And so if I saw something that was 2,000, 1,000, I would still think that that keyword is important. If I saw something that was 75,000, obviously I would see it was important. The only times I wouldn't, like if I saw something that said like 25 search volume and it was obviously a crazy long tail keyword that would never, even common sense says it would never get searched, then, I wouldn't put too much focus on those kind of keywords. But if you're looking for your main keywords, there's no set number, in my opinion, that you would determine if it's a good one or not. All right, let's keep going here. Kush is saying, look up survival kit. Guys, you guys can look this up on your own. If you have the Helium 10 Chrome extension X-ray that I just used to do what I did, I'm almost positive that that's you have a whole bunch of free searches. So guys, if you don't have that installed, go to helium10.com/extension and install that in your Chrome browser. You can do exactly what I just did for free, literally. You only have a limited amount of uses, for it. You could probably use it like 50 or 60 times, to search on different pages. But yeah, if you want to search those, please do. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I do these demos, because I want to be able to show you guys how you can use the tools on your own and the rationale that I use so that you can make some of these decisions on your own. All right, what else? Do says, in terms of launching for keywords, how do you like picking the keywords to launch with? Yeah, for picking the keywords to launch with, again, I'm not going off of necessarily exact phrase search volume. I would, even now, I would look at that, but I wouldn't use that as a determining factor. I like looking at high search volume. I mean, of course, who wouldn't? But what's more important to me than that is if the keyword is buyer relevant. And the way that you could see if it's buyer relevant, I believe it's in episode 4 of the Helium 10 YAMA. YouTube Ask Me Anything. Look up that one. No, episode 3. I'm sorry, episode 3, I believe, is where I go into how to find the most buyer relevant keywords. That's my main focus of when I'm launching, what I'm going to focus on. I want to look up the most buyer relevant keywords that is going to give me what I think is the best chance at getting those sales. All right. Thomas says, where is Sam and his big stomach? Oh yeah, he's probably eating right now. So that's why he's not on here. That's amazing. We've only had this for 3 or 4 episodes. We already have like this camaraderie where we have the other viewers know each other and know what their little jokes are and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. And Thomas says, your opinion is valuable to us. Well, I appreciate that. But so you guys, do you guys see the products I've looked over? I've looked over like 2 or 3 products now. But are you guys able to see what kind of I use as criteria? And again, that's just me. That's not to say this is the right way and then anything else is the wrong way. I just look at some of those features there, like number of reviews, the review rating, number of images. Those are just some of the things that I look at when I'm trying to gauge if there's opportunity or there or not. All right, let's go ahead and go with some of the questions that you guys submitted at helium10.com/questions. I cannot believe we have 20 now live viewers here on a broadcast that I did not promote. That's the support you guys give is really incredible. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. You guys make it more enjoyable. I used to do these at midnight and there would be like 5 people on. And so everything I would do, I felt like I was just talking to myself here. Annie says, what does it mean when somebody jumps on your listing? And all right, so that means that somebody starts selling your product, like piggybacks on it, hijacks, piggybacks. Those are all different terms, jumps on your listing. So somebody is shown as the other sellers are, or they might even steal your buy bots. And the way you can be notified if that happens, if you have Helium 10, you're going to turn on hijacker alert for those ASINs, and you'll get a text message or email if somebody jumps on your listing. Yeah, Thomas says that's a listing hijacker. That's another word for it. Yes, absolutely. Jay Patel says, hey, how's it going, Jay? All right, here's a question from Andrew. He says, I do Amazon wholesale. How can I use Helium 10 in this business model? Andrew, that's a great question. I think we had this yesterday as well. So if you're doing Amazon wholesale, you can still use Helium 10 like X-Ray. X-Ray works great if you want sales estimates on what people might be selling on Amazon. X-Ray is good. You can use Black Box to find different wholesale. Like if you got a wholesale list of a certain brand name, right? You would use Black Box and search for maybe higher selling products that have that brand name in the title, right? And then you'd compare that to your wholesale list. and see which one that you might be able to sell, right? What other things can you do? Hijacker alert. You want to see when other wholesale sellers hop on that listing. That's a tool from Helium 10 that can help you. Of course, inventory levels is probably the number one tool that our wholesale Helium 10 users use. Inventory levels, you click on it and it tells you how many units left in stock everybody who's on a certain listing has. Because when you're doing wholesale, you're probably competing against 5-10 other people, possibly, who are all trying to sell the same thing if you're doing wholesale or arbitrage. And so by seeing how much they have in stock, you can see how serious of a seller they are. If they have 1,000 in stock and they're selling at that price that you don't want to sell at, well, guess what? You're probably not, you probably don't want to sell that product. But if everybody who's selling it for cheaper than you, or what you want to sell it at, only has like 2 or 3 units in stock, well, then in that case, you're like, oh, hey, I'm just going to wait these guys out, and then I'll have the buy box, with my 1,000 units. So that's another one that can help you. But yes, Helium 10 is not just for private label sellers. We also have a lot of our customers who are in wholesale or arbitrage as well. All right. From Alan. Alan says, when you set up a coupon on Amazon, can you clarify the charges Amazon charges on the discount you are giving? Is it 60 cents offer discount? And if so, does that mean hypothetically the following: selling price 30, discount 5, leaves 25, then minus 560 from Amazon along with my FBA charges? That I'm not sure about. That is something I do not have recent experience in. But if you are curious to know what the price is, you would set it up and then, just do a test and then look at your fees after the fact. Amazon gives you really detailed reports on your finances, and then check out each and every one of the fees that they're giving you. There's also a fee estimator in there, and then you could see how much you're paying on that coupon. But if I'm not mistaken, the 15%, one thing I do know is the 15% is based on the final selling price. So the 15% commission from Amazon is not going off of what your regular price is, but it's going off of what the customer is paying. So if they're paying a 10% discount, it's 15% of that discounted price. Aletken says, what is the best way to get rid of a hijacker? All right, there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. If you know that they're selling fake product, you send them a cease and desist letter and say, hey, I'm going to report you to Amazon if you do not stop this right away. And half the time that works. They get scared and then they'll get off. The other thing to do, you can report them to Amazon as a seller. Usually that doesn't work, but if they're infringing, like if you have a trademark for your item and you think that they're infringing on your trademark, by selling a incorrect product, then you can report them as a seller. But the best way is if reports come in from buyers. So you use a buyer account, even your own seller account as a buyer, and then buy that product and you take pictures of it, report it to Amazon, say, hey, this is not as described. Because like obviously if they don't have your private label product, like if it was one of these fire document bags and your bag has this certain logo and they give you something else that's completely different, then they're literally selling you something that's not as described. And Amazon does take that seriously, and you can report them like that as well. All right. Kush says, pronounce his name right. It's not that hard. Which name? Whose name am I mispronouncing? Let me know. Let me know whose name I'm mispronouncing and how is the way to pronounce it. All right. Let's go to Jose. Jose says, Thomas says, Bradley, what is your New Year's resolution? I usually don't have New Year's resolutions. My resolution is year round. All right. Year round, I want to continue to help Amazon sellers crush it now, now that I'm not a consultant anymore, do that using Helium 10. Personally, I want to get back into shape. One thing I might be getting back into is sumo wrestling. I used to be a sumo wrestler. I used to be, one time I finished 3rd in the U.S. National Sumo Championships in the middleweight one year. Or actually, that was an open weight. And I haven't done sumo wrestling in years. But this year, I might make a comeback now that they have a new weight class. So there you go. I bet you weren't expecting that answer. Annie says, okay, Thomas says El Tiken. Okay, so El Tiken, if I was mispronouncing your name, you should have mentioned something. El Tiken. I have a name that nobody mispronounces, Bradley, but there we go. Tim Sanders is Private Label Master's idol. I don't know who Tim Sanders is, but I'd like to meet Tim Sanders. Anybody who's somebody's idol, I'd love to meet them. All right. Annie says, on the hijack thing, I still don't understand how they do it. Are they stealing my products? No. So basically, anybody can sell anything on Amazon, right? So if there's a listing, for a pencil, somebody could say, hey, I have that pencil too, and I'm going to sell it. All right. It's a little bit different than eBay, in other words. All right. So if you have a listing, anybody can go on that listing and sell it. And for a while, that was majority of what Amazon was. It was what's called retail or wholesale arbitrage. There would be like a pair of Nike shoes, right? Or this Hello Kitty, mug, right? So if somebody had this mug and they bought this mug from the store, they want to sell it on that listing. So each listing is not like eBay where it's an individual listing. There's one listing for one product, and then different sellers can sell that same thing. And there's a legitimate way to do that. Like if you actually had this product, of course you would go on that listing and sell it. But if you have a private label product, people don't have your product. So what they're doing is they're trying to like use a knockoff version or use their own product in exchange for your product. And that's when it's obviously illegal, as far as Amazon goes. Marina says, do sumo wrestlers eat late at night? Yeah, they do, but I've always tried not to because I don't want to gain weight. I'm an amateur sumo, so there's weight classes, just like boxing or wrestling, where you got to maintain a certain weight. So, but the real professional sumo wrestlers, they eat throughout the day and late at night to try and put on that weight. All right. And oh my goodness, too many live comments coming through. I can't even see it here. Have you ever heard of Joseph? He is a 9-figure private label master. I don't think I know anybody named Joseph in the world, but I'm really bad at names too. What's his last name? But could be that I met him at a conference or something, but I'm just really bad at names. All right. Here we have something from DJ. DJ R. Are you a DJ? DJ Argenis? Is January a good month to start, or should I wait till February? Any month's a good month to start. It depends on the category you're trying to search for. January is a great month to start if you're doing like a Valentine's Day product or something, or like an Easter, product that you can ramp up so that you can hit that season, right on. January is a terrible time to launch a Christmas product, because how many Christmas sales are you going to get in January? All right. So it's just different times for different products. All right. Let's see. I have only gotten to 2 of our backlog questions because there are so many live questions here. I love it. Anthony says, have you noticed Amazon has recently been testing random changes between the bestseller badges and the Amazon's Choice badge? I'm not sure if it's testing. I mean, as long as I've ever seen it, it's always all over the place. You could check a search 10 times in one day in different browsers and different things, and you could have the Amazon's Choice badge be on like 5 different products at different times of the day. Amazon's Choice could be all over the place. So I'm not sure I don't know if anybody has ever cracked the code. I mean, bestseller, that's easy. It's the bestseller. It's the bestseller badge, for that page. Usually it's, who's selling the most units from the units on that page. But as far as Amazon's Choice, there has been speculation, it has to do with Alexa. I don't think so. Might have something to do with Alexa, but I've tested that where it's not. Like what people were saying was, the Amazon's Choice badge is what comes up first when you do a search with Alexa. Anybody here have Alexa? I'm gonna do something right now. Alexa, meow. All right, so basically anybody who has Alexa right now, their Alexa probably just started meowing. But anyways, if you say, I've seen stuff that has Amazon's Choice badge, and I would say on that search, like, hey, Alexa, order me some collagen peptides, and it would give a different product. So it's not fully about Alexa. So I'm not sure if anybody has cracked the code really on that, but it's not, could be. That's something I don't follow that much. Let's see. Thomas says sumo wrestling is a respectable profession. Yes, it is very fun. It's a martial art, but it's very a lot of respect. Mutual respect, bowing, and it's not violent. It's not a violent martial art, which I like. I'm a lover, not a fighter. All right. Let's see. What other questions do we have here? Private label master. I'm done with checking out the listings. I try and only do 2 a day. I want to really keep this about I don't want this to be a workshop on, hey, let's check if this product is good or not. I want these ones to just be about any questions that you guys are having about Helium 10 or Amazon in general, because I do those kind of product workshops or validation, I guess you can call it, with Helium 10 members, and where we just do a deep dive into that. But really, it's hard to do it for, in only 2 minutes, which is all I have, to go into products because I want to get to as many questions as possible. So I try and keep it to like 2 per episode. And so we already looked up one or two here. So tune into, maybe I'll do one tomorrow. Maybe I'll do another broadcast tomorrow. We can look up seatbelt extender there. I guess sumo wrestlers might need seatbelt extenders. If seatbelt extender is what I think it is. All right. And Kush says, I want your opinion on survival kit. All right, Kush, make sure to join me tomorrow, and I'll try and get to that. Or join one of our workshops that we do in Helium 10. We do like private webinars among Helium 10 users. That would be a good thing to look up. All right, let me get back to the questions then. Here we go. Oh my goodness, this is a very long question here. Jose Costa says, could you please walk us through Cerebro sponsored ads, explaining every column, like the keyword phrases? Is there a boost feature for checking the ad placement frequently? How long ago did Cerebro check every keyword? My goodness gracious. Does it check every page for a specific keyword, or is it just for the first? Can we click on the keyword to see where the ad is showing? Sorry for many questions. I love your toes. Goodness gracious, Jose. All right, let's go ahead and share my screen here, and let's show him what we are talking about. Screen share and go. All right, so let's go ahead and pick one of these fireproof bags, and let's just say I want to see where they have been coming up in sponsored ads. You can actually do that with Helium 10. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to click on Cerebro. And I'm going to click here on reverse ASIN. And instead of organic results, I'm going to look for sponsored results. All right, let's take a look here. So this is basically coming up with a list of keyword phrases that this ASIN has, we have detected this ASIN appearing, right, on the search results for this keyword phrase. So file chest, somebody searched for file chest, and we saw that there was a sponsored ASIN come up. So basically what these ones mean, like sponsored ASINs, what this means is these are the number of 8 different ASINs we have detected in this kind of, in this search results, all right? So like, let's take a look at Joel Coffee Table, whatever the heck that means, all right? So if you look at Joel Coffee Table, here's the sponsored ads. Here's sponsored ads. Here's a sponsored ad. Let's keep looking for more sponsored ads. There's probably some down here. All right. All right. So basically, it means that at some point or another in the last, like 30 days, we have detected that this ASIN came up here for Joel Coffee Table. All right. So that's basically what it means. What about headline ASINs? What does that mean? It says unique ASINs that have been seen advertising via headline ads when searching for this keyword phrase. So here, here is a headline ad, right here. So at some point or another, this fireproof document bag by Engpao came up for file chest as a sponsored ad, and there are only three different ASINs that have ever been shown under file chest right here for headline ads. Competing products, this is the number of units approximately that you would have to give away. But here, that's basically, I hope that, Jose, that answered your question on how to look at the sponsored results for Cerebro. Now, how would you use that? Well, you might be just curious as to the tactics of your, strategy of your competitor for their sponsored ads. Like that one had 300 results, so probably they're running some auto campaigns, maybe some broad, but maybe not too huge. I've seen sponsored results sometimes go in at 1,000 or 2,000. So if you see at 1,000 or 2,000 keywords, your competitor is really going hardcore with some big campaigns, with some auto campaigns. Now, if you saw something where only 30 or 40 results came up, well, that means that probably they're just doing some manual phrases or exact phrases, perhaps. They're not even having auto campaigns. So you can actually see exactly which keywords your competitor are sending direct traffic to, all right? That could be something that's useful as well. All right, Du says, how many reviews do you recommend launching with? There's a blog, I think, done by Sixleaf, that they said that their magic number that they found in their test was 12, right? It's hard to get 12 reviews, guys. Hard to get 12 reviews. But why did they use that as a magic number? They said that if you had 12, that kind of like psychologically made it not as bad to pick that as a, if there's a whole bunch that had hundreds of reviews. But if you had like 7 or 8 or 9, people still psychologically are like saying that's not enough reviews for them. But then the reason why the magic number was 12 was they didn't find much differentiation between like 20 and 30 reviews as opposed to 12. Like there was no preference to something that had 20 or 30 reviews as opposed to 12. But there was a difference between 12 reviews and like say 9, 10, or 11 or 0, obviously. And you can search for that blog. It was on the Six Leaf blog. It was by Anthony Lee, who's an amazing data guy. I trust his research a lot because he really dives deep into the numbers. All right. Avinash says, "Hey Brad, how's it going?" And Avinash says, "Do you know how to use private label to get girls you like?" That's a good question. No, it's not really a good question. Well, that's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, hey, if you want the kind of girls who are after rich guys, gold diggers, well, hey, yeah, you can get rich using private label, but it's not exactly a dating thing, unless you're looking for girls who are really into the private label Amazon game. All right. And he says he really likes this girl. He tried to flex her with the Yeezys and the Scotch jacket, but it didn't work. So I'm trying FBA now. Hey, what you should do is maybe sell Yeezys on FBA, make a lot of money that way. All right, find some plugs to get you some Yeezys and some jackets, and then you can flex that way. All right. Do says, how do you get those 12 reviews though? Friends or family? You got to be careful on that, Do. Amazon, just came out. I mean, this is something I've been saying for like 2 years, that I really had a strong feeling that Amazon can see a lot of times who your Facebook friends are. And then, so if you were just like sending a whole bunch of reviews to people and they all had like your last name, as in they're in your family, or they were your Facebook friends, that you would get caught doing that. And sure enough, I don't know if it was Wall Street Journal or some other one that came up. And yeah, they showed that Amazon and Facebook were sharing information, with each other. So a lot of people who got warning notices saying you were manipulating reviews. What it was because they could tell that they were just having their own Facebook friends do it. So you've got to be very careful with how you get reviews. I'm not going to suggest something that's gray hat, here on the broadcast, but just whatever you choose to do, just be aware that Amazon really, really, really this year more than ever is cracking down on reviews and review manipulation. So however you get it, make sure you cover your bases, because, and I would say 100% don't make it people in your own household or people who share Wi-Fi with you. Amazon tracks IP addresses as well. So if you have some party over and everybody's on your Wi-Fi, and then all of a sudden everybody from one Wi-Fi was giving your product reviews, then Amazon's going to catch that. If everybody with your last name is starting to give you reviews, Amazon's going to catch that. All right. So just be very careful on that. It's really hard to get reviews. Yep. Do says, doesn't that mean that you would need to get 10 times the sales to safely get those reviews? Yeah, pretty much. If you're just going to get 100% organic reviews, it's not 10 times, it's 100 times. Because theoretically speaking, you only get one verified review from 100 purchases. That's like what a lot of people are saying is the number nowadays. And sometimes it's even worse. All right. So reviews is really hard. So, use off Amazon campaigns to make sales, get reviews, send messages to your buyers who do purchase your product to please, give you a review, honest review. But other than that, everything else is kind of gray hat. And I'm not going to talk about, you guys can Google what kind of things people do to get reviews. But, I can't in official capacity comment on that because I don't like suggesting gray hat, techniques. All right, next question. That was Jose Costa did the last one. We have Amy. Is there a way to find a review? What? Is there a way to find a reviewer's order if they leave a negative review? Yeah, there used to be some services that could match an order number to a review, but Amazon really hates that. All right. So with Helium 10, we're never going to have a product like that. You're not going to be able to match it because that could get us in a lot of trouble with Amazon. We have a really good relationship with Amazon. We don't want to do stuff that makes them upset. So there were some services out there that were providing that, but most of them, as far as I know, got shut down because Amazon sent them not necessarily cease and desist, but kind of polite cease and desist, hey guys, please stop doing this because it's infringing on our customers' privacy. So no, I don't and could not recommend a way in order to link reviews to a specific order. I mean, sometimes it can be obvious, right? If they use their full name for the review, then you can just look in your order, your order reports to find out if that full name was there. But I think you're, who is this? I think Amy, you're probably talking about something different. All right. Ben Morgan says, how do I deal with a seller that is listing my product under my parent SKU and winning the buy box for that listing? I'm selling 2 color variations, but they are only selling one of the colors and winning the buy box. All right. So Ben, there's nothing you can do. I mean, if you know that it's a fake product, it's kind of like I was telling, I forgot who I was telling here, but it's kind of like I was telling them, you've got to like report them to Amazon somehow if they're not selling your exact product. That's the only way. Or of course, if you want to win the buy box, you just got to lower the price, your price. But you don't want to, you don't want to do. That's what's called a race to the bottom. And then soon everybody's lowering the price by 2 cents until you're giving it away for free practically. So the only way to kick them off, send them cease and desist letter, report them to Amazon, make test purchases to prove that they're selling counterfeit products. That's about it. There's nothing else you can do. Really difficult to get what's called brand gating right now. Brand gating is the service that Amazon provides some big sellers, like say so that nobody else can list your product. Like, I don't even know how to get brand gating anymore. A lot of people were getting it 2 years ago, and then I think people are abusing that program. So then Amazon's like, we're not going to give brand gating out anymore, it seems like. So it's very random who they give it out to. All right. What other questions do we have here? This is from Mike. Can you share a strategy on what to do now that Amazon only allows 250 bytes in the backend keywords? How to handle this scenario to ensure all are still indexed? To test, place in different areas like bullets, titles, how to decide which not to use. Yeah, so before, you could put like 4,000 characters in your backend, but not anymore. It's only 250 characters. Also, keep in mind that there's another 250 characters in some categories that you're going to have in your backend, and it's called the subject matter. There's 5 lines of subject matter that you're allowed to put 50 each. So guys, make sure to go ahead and use that as well. But the best way to make sure you're using all of your important keywords is by once you do all your keyword research, and guys, those of you who use Helium 10, make sure to watch the Learn video on this, but you copy them all together, aggregate it in Frankenstein, so that you get all the unique words, and then put that into scribbles. So then as you're writing your listing, you know exactly which words that you have used and which ones that you have not used. All right. So really important. And then after that, you take that whole list of keywords and then put that into index checker to make sure that you're indexed. Really straightforward process, guys. Do your keyword research, aggregate the unique keywords using Frankenstein, plug that into scribbles, make sure you have everything in your listing, upload your listing, and then go after the fact and go back and check index checker. And if you see some that are not indexed, yes, you might have to move it around in places, put some in a subject matter, put it into bullet points, whatever the case may be, but then keep running index checker so you can see if you are indexed for it. All right, so thank you very much for that question, Mike. We are rolling through the questions now. All right, Thomas says, I noticed you have a Hello Kitty mug. Yeah, this is my daughter's mug. I just got it to drink some stuff here. So water, not stuff, not vodka. I'm not. It's New Year's Eve, but don't worry, I'm not boozing it up here in the live broadcast. Literally water. I'm trying to do a fast today. Actually, I cheated on my diet yesterday and ate a burrito michoacano to be exact, one of my favorite burritos. And so today I'm trying to cleanse and just drink water. Anyways, Peter says, I've spent hours of research and found products that either have fierce competition or products that make just a little bit of money. Even products that initially show 40 to 50% margin when you put Amazon fees and transportation costs, they make like a $1 or $2 at the end. How do we find products that make profit and not just show good numbers? All right. There's an easy way to do that. Peter, make sure to use the profitability calculator. Let me just show you how you can get a good way of doing that here. All right. So if you're on a page, like let's say you're right here and you see that there's this fireproof money and document bag, right? I'm going to hit this thing called calculate fees right here. And then this pulls in all of the information from that listing. Now, let's say you went to Alibaba and you're like, hey, this is going to cost me $2.50. All right. This is going to be my shipping rate, to get it to Amazon. And maybe there's some other costs, like I pay 10% to somebody. Well, then right here, instantly, you're going to get an estimate on what your profit is going to be between like third quarter or first 3 quarters and fourth quarter. So right here, right away, and especially your ROI. ROI is really important. A lot of sellers, don't look at their ROI. Kevin King and Freedom Ticket course really has some good modules about why ROI is important. So there's something that just really briefly you can do in order to get a snapshot on if you're going to, if you're going to be profitable enough, Peter. So It's really hard to find products nowadays. If they're really competitive, most likely the price has been driven down over time. And so that profit margin is going to get lower. So if you just want a quick snapshot, use profitability calculator if you think you found a good product to sell. Brandon Burns says, I've been attacked by a competitor with fake reviews lately. They are unverified and totally defamatory. Amazon doesn't care, and it's really affected my sales. At what point do you start over with a new listing, and are you just delaying the inevitable for it to happen again? Brandon, it's really hard to start a new listing over again, especially, to start from scratch. And then plus Amazon doesn't like that too. You'd have to come up with a new UPC number and everything, right? But the only way that I would do that, I would even consider doing that, is if there's just no way, if you have exhausted all attempts to show Amazon that there are fake reviews, out there, or if you have exhausted all those attempts to counteract those fake reviews with positive reviews, and your sales are just dead, there's nothing you can do. You've got to maybe start over and move on, but you've got to redo it, so that Amazon doesn't catch you for terms of service, because if you're trying to upload the same UPC, they're not going to allow you to make a new ASIN. And then you got to think too, like, what if they start doing that on the new listing as well? That can very well happen. So that, unfortunately, is something that really hurts my heart, Brandon, because that's something that I see a lot now. A lot of the sellers, a lot of them are coming from China, because they have these seller groups there in China where they get together and they do these attacks, coordinated attacks on their competition, right? And it's really a shame, but you might almost want to get into a different category when you start seeing that happen. Until Amazon can fix this fake review problem, again, Amazon does not care too much about sellers compared to buyers. So if we as sellers complain about something, they consider it like 2 out of 10 importance. But if like a buyer complains about something, it's like 8 out of 10. So, I mean, who knows? I literally just came up with something like that. What if you had some buyers that reported to Amazon and say, hey, I'm looking at this listing and I don't think that this review is valid because it looks shady, it looks like fake, that would be something to try. I'd try that, see if Amazon respects that a little bit more. So let me know if you try it. I literally just thought about that this second. All right. Let's see what other questions we have here. Not a lot of live questions today, so that's good, unless I'm missing it. Now I'm able to catch up on the older questions I have here. All right. That was, who was that? Brandon Burns. All right. Let's go to the next one. This is Tom. We are currently trying the Cerebro product rank method, but we get no results. Question is, how much discount? Oh, I think he's talking about giveaways, not the actual Cerebro product rank method. He's talking about the CPR. And how much discount is needed to get results based on your experience? And a lot of experts say this is not as effective as it was. I don't know any experts who say it's not as effective, because it still does work. I mean, is it, well, let me digress. It depends on what you mean by not as effective. Like, do you have to sometimes nowadays give more products away to get the same results? Yes. More competition, that's going to happen. Does it sometimes not work at all? Yes, that is actually true as well. But for the discount to get results, it all depends. If you're doing a giveaway, the only way that you're going to get enough sales is if enough people buy it in a certain day, right? And so sometimes you have to give a bigger discount away to give a certain product away, because you're marketing this to people who weren't necessarily looking to buy that product anyways, right? So if you had a product like an iPhone Lightning cable, you could probably get away with a 50% discount, because there's tons and tons of people who could always use iPhone Lightning cables. And if they see something at 50%, they're like, oh, okay, I'll get that. But if you come up with some like really niche product, like cobalt blue marker or something like that, right? That like most people are like, I have no need for this. But if they see it like 90% off, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll get it for 90% off. I'm sure I can find somebody who needs it for like $1, So that's the way that you can get more sales. So that's something to keep in mind when you're thinking about what kind of discount to put your product at. Cem, CEM, if I'm pronouncing your name right, says, if I sell black, blue, and white shoes, how should I add them to the back-end keywords? Which one is true? Black shoes, white shoes, blue shoes, black, white, blue shoes. All right. So yeah. So how you should add it is black. You just put if you just want to be indexed for it, you just put it once. Sometimes the only times that you have to start putting it in the phrase form is if Amazon doesn't think that you're relevant for that category and they're not going to index you for it. All right. So yeah, I would start with just black, white, blue shoes, just so you have each of those words once, and then theoretically speaking, you should be indexed now for black shoes, white shoes, blue shoes. But if that doesn't work, then yes, you might have to start putting it in phrase form to make sure that Amazon knows that this is relevant for that category. He says also, when I checked reverse ASIN for back end keywords, I see lots of my opponents uses first one and the rank is perfect, but I watch many videos and lots of people say that we should use second one. Yeah, again, if you're trying to rank for a certain keyword, you should put it in phrase form multiple times in your listing. All right. So for your most important keywords, absolutely put it in phrase form in your listing. In the title, if it's like the most important keywords, try and put it in your title. All right. But if you're just wanting to just be indexed for certain keywords, all right, just to be able to be searchable, then you don't have to put it in phrase form, because you think about it, you cannot put every single phrase in phrase form in your listing. I mean, there's only so many characters that you can put in your listing. Let's see. Thank you, Sam, for that question. We're getting some really high quality questions today. I love it. Goodness. All right. Dennis says, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss? What in the world does Dr. Seuss have to do with anything? Did I miss something? All right. Anthony says, wow, I'm selling fireproof bags and not doing very well with them. What made you pick that as an example? Anthony, a couple of people at the beginning of the episode mentioned fireproof bags. So that was why I searched for it. Thomas says, what product launch giveaway platform that you recommend? There was one that I used to use, or I still do use it for testing, purposes and for trying to do those blogs I've been writing about product launches. But I don't like to mention specific names, positive or negative. I don't want to appear biased. But one thing I can tell you is that if you look at the AMPM podcast, we did a recent podcast, I believe it was episode 190, 188, around there, about the state of Amazon product launches. We have 4 companies on there that we interviewed, and all of them, are very respected in the game. So I think you'd be okay using any of those 4 companies. And Dennis says black shoe, blue shoe. Okay. All right. There we go. Now I understand what Dennis was saying. That was a Dr. Seuss. All right. Now I get it. At first I was like, did I miss something here? What's going on? All right. So we have a ridiculously long question. Oh, there's 5 questions, all from Hamid. Hamid is like trying to dominate the questions here. Number 1. What's the differences between style keywords and subject content and platinum keywords and the best use of them in the back end? Platinum keywords, I don't think very many people can use, so I just completely ignore that. It's only certain kind of accounts or certain kind of products that can use that. The style is different. That's mainly for, a lot of the clothing, categories, have that. The subject matter. Now that is one that you can just like stuff keywords into, and it does help you to get indexed. So that's a very important, actually more important even than your back-end keywords, your search terms, your subject matter. Question number 2 from Hamid. From what beta or success score is considered a green light to do more research for a new product on any niche? None. I do not use the success score as a guideline as if I'm going to do further research. I just use it as a rule of thumb, like just as something to pass the eye test if I need to do if I want to look at certain columns. Like if I see a low score, that doesn't mean I'm saying, oh, I'm not going to look at this. That just means that, hey, it doesn't have the best price variation. It might not have the best review count, but I still always, 10 times out of 10, I'm always going to look at all columns in X-ray, or if I'm doing black box research, in order to validate if something could be a valuable product. Never use a score just as your only criteria in our tool or any other tool. Question 3. When we use X-ray, 20 or more products on Chrome extension, where does it show the average sales for the month? All right. When I use X-ray, 20 or more products on Chrome extension, where does it show the average sales for a month? Each one has the average sales. That is literally what you're looking at, Hamid. Right there, that shows on X-ray. Each listing where it says sales, that is the average monthly sales. Question 4, are the higher Magnet IQ score numbers those that are called low-hanging fruits keywords due to their low campaign costs and basically the more chance to rank faster? Not necessarily. Again, don't go by scores, guys. That's just something to give you a visual representation. The IQ score in Cerebro and Magnet basically shows you the words that do not have that many competitors, but have a higher proportion of searches compared to that. All right. And that could, yes, it could mean that it's going to help you in order to have lower PPC costs, but that's not a guarantee, because what if all 100 people who are competing there are all bidding up the PPC like crazy? Well, it's obviously not going to be cheaper for you. And Hamid, last question of the day from Hamid says, on the black box, please explain the marketplace, competitors, and niche benefits and cons and pros. All right. So in black box, when you do the competitors or niche, basically for the competitors, it's going to search. If you put in a product, it's going to give you the 50 products that share the most ranked keywords as that C product that you're doing. So if you're doing competitor research and you say, hey, I found this competitor, who might his main competitors be? In other words, the listings out there that share the most ranked keywords as he does. All right. And then the other thing was niche. That's basically just like searching on Amazon for something. The only difference is on Black Box, we're showing you products that have gone out of stock or might be, suspended in the last couple of months that you wouldn't find on Amazon on a live search, but we have them in our database. Because remember, Helium 10 is the largest database of ASINs out there. We have over 450 million products in our database. Thomas says, what is your next live stream? I might do one tomorrow. I mean, I have off tomorrow, so if I'm not doing anything with my kids, yeah, I might go ahead and do another live stream tomorrow. But usually these will only be once a week, probably on Sundays, these YouTube ones. But I've been doing them every day just as kind of like a year-end special, here for you guys to try and catch up to all these questions that we have backlogged. So Hamid, thank you for your questions. You did 5 of them. By the way, if you're wondering where these other, I mean, obviously you guys can probably see in the chat box where the live questions are coming from. But if you're wondering where these other questions are coming from, it's from people who go to helium10.com/extension. Let me put that in there. helium10.com/extension/questions. All right. So at that link right there, that's where people are submitting the questions in for the next broadcast. But we could get to those questions on our Facebook AMAs or on the YouTube ones. All right, let's go to the next one here from Vasile. First of all, we use Helium 10 and we love it. We just launched 3 weeks ago. We did a CPR method for 2 keywords. I would like to see more training for the tools in there for the newbies. All right, so Vasile and everybody else, we have tons of videos I don't think a lot of people know. So if any of you guys want to see our training videos, we have a new dedicated section for it. It's at helium10.com/pro training. All right. You can actually get there from the helium10.com website. You click on pro training, whether you're a Helium 10 member or not. You can view all of those videos. They're right here on YouTube. And then if you just want to know anytime we add a new video, if you guys are subscribed to us right here on YouTube to try and see these live broadcasts, you're also subscribed and will get a notification whenever we launch other videos, other pro training videos. All right. Anna Maria says, does Helium 10 have a tool that shows the bid prices for the different keywords like other tools does? No, we don't, because that kind of thing is specific to your account and is specific to an ASIN. So you could have the keyword iPhone, and maybe other tools might say, oh yeah, the suggested bid is $3, but that, I wouldn't say that's meaningless, but to you it could be meaningless, because an iPhone, if you tried to bid iPhone for a pencil listing, it's going to be a different price than if you tried to bid iPhone for an iPhone case listing. All right, and it's specific to the listing and it depends on your metrics of your own account too. So we don't have that in Helium 10 because it could be not misleading, but it could be confusing to some. Like somebody would be like, oh, wow, this is a great keyword. It's only going to be a bid for $1. But when they try and do it on their own listing, it's like, wait a minute, it's like a $3 bid here. What's up? And so that's the reason why we don't have that metric in ours. Anna Maria, thank you for that question. Next question here from Daisaku. When I sourced a product 3 months ago, there were only 2 sellers making over $50,000 a month. Wow. I differentiated my product, but now there are 40 other Chinese sellers in the market making under 5,000. What would you do to be competitive in this market? Arigato. Well, Daisaku, あなたの質問がありがとうございます。All right. So what I would do is I would make sure my images are great. I would make sure I'm concentrating on the most important keywords that those 2 $50,000 a month sellers are on page 1 for, that they're organically converting for, that they're concentrating on. I would be aggressive in my PPC. I would give great customer service. I would differentiate. I would make sure my listing is on point, making those most of those Chinese sellers, they're just doing plug and play, right? They do not know how to make emotional connections in bullet points a lot of times. So you're going to have that, advantage, Daisaku. But yeah, don't give up. I know it's kind of frustrating when everybody else, jumps on your niche that you thought you were going to be really unique on, but you can still do it. I have faith in you. Ganbatte ne. Dennis says, thank you for the Sundays. All right. We're going to do Sundays as much as I can. Claudia says, how long have we been on here? Have I? Oh my goodness, I've gone over 1 hour, so I gotta stop. Time flies with you guys. My goodness, that was 69 minutes ago. So we're over 1 hour, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put this to a close right here. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me know real quick on the right if you guys would like me to do one tomorrow afternoon after you guys are all hungover, or not. So then I will go ahead and do a live tomorrow, and then that will probably be the last one until next Sunday or so. So thank you guys for joining me. If you guys are watching this on the replay, I hope you guys found value. Use that link in the comments, helium10.com/questions. Make sure to submit any questions that you guys might have. And also if we don't do one tomorrow, the next chance you guys will have for a Ask Me Anything will be on our Facebook group, Helium 10 users on Facebook. We will be doing one Thursday, probably Thursday morning this week. All right. And Marinas, thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate it. Thomas, thank you very much. Dennis, everybody else watching, thank you guys for tuning in, and keep on crushing it on Helium 10. All right, guys. See you later. Enjoy. Be safe tonight, guys. All right. It's New Year's Eve. Please don't do anything too crazy. Be safe. No, don't drink and drive. See you guys later.